Hello everybody, my name is Alan from Sauber-Lab, and in this video we'll tell one of my problems. First of all, I am an engineer and I really like to plan everything that I'm gonna do before I start to do, consider all the variables and what I need to do if something don't work in the way that I want. Or at least I want to plan how I'm gonna build something. This one apply for my work, this one apply for my home activities and either for my home lab, because I really like to do the planning of my networking, how I'm gonna connect each one and what I need to consider before I start to buy anything. Because if I go to buy, I already need to plan how much or how big needed to be the system that I'm gonna buy. Otherwise, after I need to upgrade in a short time and then I lose only money. Also, in any other project, if I have any problem, I would like to know what is my alternative before I start. So I like to plan a lot. And to do it, I normally use Excel, normally use paper, and that's don't become so professional. The same thing for these videos that I post on YouTube. When I go to post a video that have some explanation, I normally use Excel and that to do all the drawings, but don't look like properly professional. I could potentially input some images, but still don't look like great. So in this way I started to look for alternative programs that help me to design something, or at least to draw something that will help me to create my system. And then comes this application called Excalidraw. And that this application promised that allowed you to do all your flows, all your drawings in a simple way. So if you like this idea and want to learn a little bit more about it, we're gonna show you this video. But first of all, don't forget to leave a like, consider to subscribe for the channel if you're not subscribed yet, and let's understand a little bit more about it. As I told, in this video we're gonna talk about Excalidraw. And for make sure that it's good for you and fit for your needs, we're gonna come here my screen and explain how it works. So if I come here my screen, this is Excalidraw, and here basically it's an open page for you drawing everything that you want. So if I wanted to make a decision, if I go to a flow, I can make a decision. If I wanted to make an action, I can define the action and say start. Or I can say more here, start again. I can make the decision, do or not do. And if I wanted to do it, I can come here and say yes. And I can always make the correct flow for go to the correct area. So if I wanted to do, or I wanted to be a little bit more direct, if I want to be more circular in the way that I can push here, and here I can write yes. Let's say that I no. So I'll put no. Let me take out this 5 because was the shortcut, and now I can put outside 5 and connect here. The same thing, this one I lose, I don't know why, and here it's connected the way that I want. And in this way you can start to do your flows and make sure that everything is going the way that I want. But wait, I told that I like to do other projects, and yes, these Excalidraw give a lots of different libraries for you. So if you come here in library option and put browser library, you open this page, and here you have look like software architecture, you have software logos, sticks and other things. But what we are key to know is, let's say, network. So we'll put network, and here they give some network options. Let's decide this network and click Excalidraw. Here I can start to draw in the way that I want. Let's say that I wanted to put a firewall here in between this and this computer. I wanted to have, I don't know, a data center. I wanted to have another server. I wanted to have, let's say, a server here, and I wanted to connect this computer to a server. I wanted to connect this computer to this data, and this data go to the server, and that I wanted to block this computer to access this computer. So here will be my, let's say, my firewall that will be blocked. And here I can start to design the way that I want, and then I can make as a cell. So everything inside this cell is this network or this connection. And you can stop the way that you want, and you can save it. Let's say that I want to save it, and I save this scene for my desktop. So I just save it. Let's say that I save it. Now in this way, I can go here in my downloads, and also I can share it. So if I wanted to move from one computer to another, I can share. This is one of the limitations for you when you use only a local system. But also you can start a project here. You can come here and go to directly for Excalidraw.com and open this project that you was working here. You have exactly the same stage that you had. You can work it, save, and that open in another place. Of course, if you self-host, you know that all your data is one place. If you use Excalidraw, you don't have this guarantee. This can be in one place, but also can be in different places. So let's leave better to self-host. And as I told, we're gonna self-host, but before we start to explain how you can install, we're gonna go for the options that you have. So if you go for solo or free option, you can have unlimited options. You can connect it or integrate with Notion, Obsidian, and others. So you can start to design. So you can start to design your system, and that's upload in Notion and start to design the rest of the information. Also, if you want to share with more people, then you need to go for a plus, and this plus costs $6 a month. Of course, not a huge amount of money, but we want to be self-host, and normally we use only myself. I don't need it to have, I'm using and someone else using the same time. So for me, it will be totally fine. So to do this installation, we come here in docs.excalidraw.com, and here basically will be all the informations that you want, and we come here for get start. It's good to remember that this application, it's open source, so you always have a GitHub link where you can connect it. You can see all the information, how many people it's online, and all what they promise. But we're not going to focus on this. We come here in our development and we go all the way down because we want to choose self-host. And here for the self-host option, they give this information. It's good for us? No, because I don't want to choose a put to connect from my server and run it. I want to use directly my container. This reason that I will copy all this information and come here in my Comporize. Here in my Comporize, I will paste this information, and here they will give all my Docker Compose. Have two options. You can copy everything from here and create a Docker Compose, and that's make a Docker run, Docker Compose, and make all the command. But I don't want to do it. I want to choose container. This reason that I will copy everything after service. Once that I copy here, I will open my container. Here in my container, I will access my server, and I will come directly in my stack. Here in my stack, I will put add a stack. First thing I need to define the name of my stack, so I will copy Excalidraw and paste here. Once that I do it, I need to do any modification. No, I can leave the way that I have. They have some extra attribute. Don't worry about it. Some specific attributes that for this case they show. Normally they will not show. Also, they don't show the restart policy, what we can configure late. Here, the problem that we're going to have is the port. I use Synology NAS, and Synology NAS use already the port 5000. So if I wanted to keep using Synology NAS, I needed to move this port for 5002 only to be a little bit different, and I will come here and put deployed stack. Now this part of deployed stack will be really fast. They will deploy everything and come here my Excalidraw. They will take a couple of minutes until they start. Once that they start, we can come here and open port 5002. But before we start it, we come here in my Excalidraw, and here will be all the configuration, everything, but I wanted to update my restart policy. Here my restart policy I can define as on failure. I can define how many times that they will fail until restart, but I will put update. So now I put on failure, I put update. Now I can come here and come here in logs, and the red give all this information. So if I come back in container, this container red healthy, and I can open port 5002. Once that I open the port 5002, the red appear this information. And now I can start to choose my Excalidraw the same way that I was using before. I can have my page, I can start to design everything that I want. I can start to add new libraries. In this case, I already have some added, and I can add more libraries. Let's say that I want to add those and start to make a small cartoon or small explanation. This guy start to do something and continue on. So in this way we arrive at the end of this video. I hope that you guys like this video. If you like this video and think that was interesting, please don't forget to leave your like. Consider to subscribe for the channel if you're not subscribed yet, and see you next time.